Hey EMbers, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another favourites video from me. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about my favourite video games released in 2003. So this is part of an ongoing series. The first video I did was my favourite games released between 1990 to 1995. The second one was 1996 to 1999. The third video was 2000, fourth video 2001, fifth video 2002, and finally sixth video 2003. Here we are. I will have all of those linked down in the description box below as well if you'd like to check the previous years out that I've done. As always, I am going by the PAL UK release date. I've been using IMDb to cross-reference as well. So for 2003, it's not as strong a showing as me as 2001 and 2002 was. I would definitely say 2001 to 2002 is my favourite era of gaming ever. 2003, a bit of a less strong showing for me, but I still enjoy these games, obviously. So we're going to start with Buffy the Vampire Slayer Chaos Bleeds, primarily on the PlayStation 2 for me, although it came out on other consoles. So last episode, I spoke about the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer game. This is Chaos Bleeds, my personal favourite out of the two. I'm a huge Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan, and I love Chaos Bleeds. I love the fact that you get to play as different characters. Obviously, my girl Faith's in there. I love the story, but I also love the multiplayer that you can do as well. That was only local co-op, I believe, don't quote me, but I don't know if there was any online actually. But yes, Buffy the Vampire Slayer Chaos Bleeds, really good game, and I'd encourage you to try it if you haven't. Next up, we've spoke about her a few times in this series. Tomb Raider, The Angel of Darkness came out in 2003. Now, this does still deserve its spot in one of my favourite games of all time. Is it the best Tomb Raider game? No. Is it riddled with bugs and glitches? Yes. However, I really do love The Angel of Darkness. I do have a soft spot for it. I would love to see a remake or a remaster at one point. That would be incredible. I really like Angel of Darkness. I know a lot of Tomb Raider fans don't. So next up, we have Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup. Now again, is this one of the best games of all time? No, it's not. However, I really liked Quidditch World Cup, and I think they're doing something very similar soon with another Harry Potter video game, but don't quote me. Now, the Harry Potter video games are very divisive, aren't they? Some are very good, some are not so good. Quidditch World Cup, I think, sits higher on the good side than the bad side. And again, I'm talking about the PlayStation 2 version, but I do have Quidditch World Cup on a couple of other platforms as well. So it's exactly what it sounds like. You are a Quidditch player and you're playing Quidditch. Now, should this rank as high for me, considering I hated the Quidditch in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone video game? Probably not. A full game of Quidditch is not, it doesn't hold my attention too much. However, it had to make its spot on this list because of how innovative it was at the time and was very enjoyable at the time. I don't know if I'd play something like it again, but I really did like Quidditch World Cup. Next up, we have what I believe is the first Pirates of the Caribbean video game. Now, this isn't as good as another Pirates of the Caribbean video game, which we'll probably talk about when we get there. But I do like, again, much like Harry Potter, I love the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. The games are divisive. So I personally like every Pirates of the Caribbean game that they released for console. And they don't play as well on the handhelds, I will say, but I have had a couple of DS ones as well. I'm a sucker for video games that are based on my favourite films and TV shows, what can I say? I mean, on this list we've had Buffy, Harry Potter, Pirates of the Caribbean, and then a bit of Tomb Raider. So, is the first Pirates of the Caribbean game phenomenal? No, but I really, really like it. And fun fact, I say this every time, it was created by Bethesda, who made one of my favourite video games of all time, which is, well, the Elder Scrolls franchise, but the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. So, props to it for that. And the final game on my list for 2003, so like I say, it's not a strong list for me, is The Sims Busting Out. Again, is it the best Sims game? No. Again, I'm talking about PlayStation 2. Would this have been better on a PC? Probably. But we're talking about PlayStation 2. It's not the best Sims game ever, but I do think it was my first, actually. So most people start with The Sims 1 or The Sims 2. I think I started with The Sims Busting Out, funny enough, and I couldn't understand why it was so hard. That game is incredibly difficult. I would highly encourage you, if you haven't, to go and watch Plumbella's current playthrough of The Sims Busting Out, because my goodness is it difficult. But I had to include it on this list because it was my introduction to the Sims franchise, I believe. I'm pretty certain. So that is my list, my favourite games of 2003. Quite a weak list, I think, if you compare it to 2001 and 2002. There were some brilliant games released in 2003, but nothing really on my radar, except the ones, of course, I've spoken about. So let me know, what are your favourite video games of 2003? I hope you enjoy this. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye Embers.